The Bears right now, there's a lot going on. I think it's safe to say for
Yes.
and not in the way that you hope for. This was a time, if you were a Bears fan, that this was taking this next step, this exciting chapter, not only for your franchise, which you hoped Justin Fields could be a franchise quarterback. Some were saying an MVP type candidate.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers is gone. You think things are changing. And then the team starts 0-2. Then you have a situation with your defensive coordinator where he resigned, and there's so many rumors swirling. And then we have a clip here of it even stirring the pot more of Justin Fields explaining. He was asked a question on why he feels that the team or himself is having some struggles.
Yeah. So just to set the tone here, there's been quite a few things swirling around Justin Fields. There was a couple of videos that surfaced about last week's game and how he hesitated so much around, when it came to making decisions, when he was going through his progressions, and it took, an upwards of five seconds to release that football. And in the NFL, that's an eternity. So, just you could see that he was struggling, and it felt as if almost he was distracted. And many pundits out there were talking about Justin Fields getting into this analysis paralysis, and so he was asked about this. And so here was his initial response. We're going to go through certain stages here because there's some backpedaling and then there was some face saving on this as well. So let's just watch this first clip on what he said initially about his performance over the last 2 weeks.
Things that I didn't like, I felt like, I wasn't necessarily playing my game. Felt like I was kind of robotic and, not playing like myself. So, my goal this week is just to, say F it and just go out there and, play football how I know how to play football. And that includes thinking less and just going out there and, playing off of instincts rather than just of, so much, so to say, info in my head, data in my head, and literally just going out there playing football. I mean, just going back to it's a game, and that's it, because that's when, I play my best is I'm just out there playing free and being myself. So I'm going to say kind of just bump all the, what I should do, what I, this and that, like pocket stuff, like I'm going to go out there and be me. So, yeah.
When you are playing the way, when you're playing like yourself, what does that look like?
We'll see. So,
when you say thinking less, what do you think was causing you to think so much, maybe think too much?
Could be, coaching, I think. But, at the end of the day, it makes it, they're doing their job when they're giving me, what to look at and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I, can't be thinking about that when the game comes. I prepare myself throughout the week, and then when the game comes, it's, it's time to play free at that point. So, just thinking less and, playing more.
Hey, Justin, we've heard this before from other athletes. There are just too many, coaching voices in your head at this point that you're trying to process so much. Is that part of what you're saying?
I don't think it's too many coaching voices, but I just think when, you're fed a lot of information at a point in time and you're trying to think about that info, like when you're playing, it's like it doesn't let you play like yourself. You're trying to, process so much information to where it's like, if I just simplified in my mind, I would have did this. Like I saw a few plays on Sunday to where if I was playing like my old self, like we would have had a positive play. Like there would have been, a few more.
I wanted to break that down real quick. So the media kind of took that and ran with it a little bit. And it did feel to me, based off of what he was saying, that he was putting at least a little bit of responsibility on the coaches. And whether you agree with that or not, probably not the best look from Justin Fields as far as that initial response. What do you think about that, Ryan?
With Justin Fields and the whole situation, I think it's evident that things have not gone according to plan. And
Right.
There's a lot of frustrations. There's a lot of stress because it's evident that Justin Fields is talented, but then it's also evident that things aren't working out. Is that a combination of the coaches aren't putting you in the best position all the time? Yes, that could be the case. But is there other cases where you yourself are not making enough plays in the scenario, in the situation? Yes. And part of that, you brought up analysis by paralysis. He definitely looks like a guy that's overthinking. And instead of his skill set of using his legs and trying to improvise more or to just be a dual threat, the Bears haven't used him for his legs as much this year, to be honest. It's a skill set that you need to talk about and you need to address. Yeah,
I
go
will
ahead.
say to that effect that over the last 2 weeks we've seen you know, two spies on Justin Fields. I mean, we kind of saw that with Lamar Jackson. I wouldn't say that they're figuring Justin Fields out per se, because again, a lot of this is kind of self-inflicted on Justin Fields himself. But there are defenses that are now preparing for him. They kind of taking a page out of the Lamar Jackson book based off of what we saw from Justin Fields rushing attack last year. So it's not a surprise to me to see that he's not rushing as much. But for him to go basically from, 100 to 0 is certainly a bit of a surprise up to this point. Now, I did want to go into the next part of this, that Justin Fields did backtrack a little bit to try to clarify what he actually meant. So here's what he was saying to reporters today.
Guys' jobs are to get clicks, so it's like when you take my quote out of context, when you just say that, if you paint the picture on the inside out, like y'all are trying to split us up as a team. I'm not blaming anything on the coaches. I'm never going to blame anything on the coaches, never going to blame anything on my teammates. I will take whatever happens in the game, I will take all the blame. I don't care if it's a drop pass, it should have been a pass. Put it on me. But never will you hear anything come out of my mouth to where I will blame it on somebody else in this organization. My teammates, never will you hear that. So I just want to clear that up and just know that, like, I need to play better. That's it, point blank. If y'all, that's what I should have said in the first place. But I was trying to give y'all more details because I appreciate y'all for doing what y'all do, and I try to give y'all the information y'all want for you guys' job. So I'm gonna do that, and in the future, but I ask you guys just to put the whole quote out. Don't cut it up into words and pieces to make it seem like I'm saying something that I'm not. So again, appreciate you guys what you do, and y'all have a blessed day. That's it.
All right. So for me personally, based off of that response, I don't know if necessarily, and I guess maybe it depends on who was reporting what, but based off of what Justin Fields had said in that first part, he talked about the coaches. He talked about the coaching. And when he was asked the question, so if he wasn't trying to place any responsibility on them, the coaches shouldn't have even come out of his mouth. So for him to be like, you took it out of context, maybe part of that's true, but you don't say anything about it. Like if you truly didn't mean it, then don't bring them up in the first place.
Yeah, I think he was trying to be descriptive, but he was way too descriptive. And that's just one of the things that you, as a player, it's just going to get twisted. If you use anything that's talking about coaching and scheme, and there's any type of inclination that it's something, there's some other issue with why the team's not having success, it's going to come off bad, even if that's not your intention. And that's exactly what happened here. And when I played and everything happened, we had to be very careful with what we said and what we talked about. And
Sure.
that's just, I guarantee you, someone mentioned that to him. He wanted to clear the air. I still love everything that he's doing. I hope the Bears bounce back. I really do.
They were seen hugging it out today. So maybe they're making up. We'll see. But